Hi guys, it's Sarah from Nerds and Fangirls, and today I'll be doing my favorite subject of all time. This one was requested for me, and Tarell Bellinger asked me if I would do recommendations for Richelle Mead, and of course I would, but here's the thing, I literally love almost every Richelle Mead book that I've ever read. So that would have been a tough one for me to do my recommendations. So instead, I thought I'd rank every single series she had, besides ones I haven't read, which we'll start in a minute. But here's the ones that I have. I thought it would be a fun idea to rank all the ones I have read, and I hope you guys like this list. So starting off with books that won't be mentioned in this one. The first one will be Vampire Academy, the 10th anniversary edition, because I have not read the 4 short stories in the back. Yes, I know. I'm gonna get onto this. This is my next to be read for my Shady. Why'd you knock over, baby girl? This will be my next book that I'll be reading because I've been feeling like really down lately, a little bit down in the dumps, a little in a reading slump, as you will. And I know rereading my favorite book will cheer me up. I also realize that on this channel I do not have book reviews for my all-time favorite books, so I'm thinking about rereading the Vampire Academy series and making reviews for them. Because, oh my god, guys, these are great books. If you haven't read them, please do. They're awesome. And in a minute, you'll find out which ones I like from least to favorite, because this is how it's gonna go. I have also not read the Glittering Court series by Richelle Mead. I know. Shame. There are a couple of things by Richelle Mead I haven't read. I have a lot of books that I'm interested in at the moment, and the Glittering Court is kind of really low on my totem pole, despite it being the fact that it's from my favorite author. I've heard mixed reviews on it. I've heard that you should wait until the series is finished. So you can just jump straight in, because this doesn't follow the same character in the whole 3 books in the series. They follow different characters, and it's just the same story told by 3 different perspectives. So I think I'll wait out on reading the series until it's finished, and then get into the series. We'll wait and see. And then next one, of course, a lot of things seemed really more interesting to me, but that's her Game Board of God series by Richelle Mead. I am totally in love with this cover. I really want to read this one, but whenever I was starting to read it, I think I was 17, 18, not really out of the new adult genre yet, so I lost interest. But now that I'm more of an adult and it's been a decade, nearly a decade. It hasn't been nearly a decade, I'm just kidding. It feels like it's been nearly a decade since I picked up this book. Maybe I'll pick it up again. Who knows? Maybe I'll find a new favorite series by Richelle Mead, because it's been a long time coming ever since she ended Bloodlines. The Bloodline series, aka the end of the Vampire Academy series and characters, and the end of Bloodline series, and the end of the world. I've been really sad about it, because like most fans of Cassandra Clare and the Moral Instruments, that would be the Vampire Academy world would be a world that I would continuously read from no matter how old I got, because they're just such great books, and this world just totally lost me into this world. Can you tell what my favorite Richelle Mead series is? It's definitely Vampire Academy, because Vampire Academy was awesome. It's an awesome series. Recommend. Bloodlines isn't as great as Vampire Academy in my opinion. Mostly because Romitri is my all-time favorite couple, besides Damon and Elena from the Vampire Diaries. like, Dimitri and Rose were my ultimate OTP before I knew what an OTP was. They were my base, they were my life goals. Life goals, I just loved them so much, which is actually kind of funny because I ended up marrying a man that is about to get his teaching degree, so that's funny. A funny coincidence? Probably not. Yeah, but we'll see. So the first ones I want to go into are solos from Richelle Mead. I'll get this list started. I'll go from solos by Richelle Mead on the way up. So there's like 2 short stories and 1 solo story I've read from Richelle Mead. She's had 1 standalone, and it's my least, like, if I had to pick between all these books and I had to rank them in the order of which I liked more, my least favorite Richelle Mead book of all time would be Soundless by Richelle Mead. I read this book earlier last year. I was so excited to have a Richelle Mead standalone, because I wanted to see what she could do in such a short pace. But in my opinion, I think Richelle Mead should stick to writing really bulky books, because I think expanding worlds and writing this lovely flowing story is what she's great at, but standalones aren't really her thing. In my opinion, like, this book could have been longer, in my opinion. It didn't give me time to establish the world we're in, didn't give me time to really give a shit about the characters that I was following. I don't even remember what the main character's name of Soundless is, but if you want to know more of my thoughts on Soundless, I'll link the review down below, because I actually do have a review out for Soundless. So I wouldn't recommend, like, if you're wanting to go into Richelle Mead books, but don't want to get into all of her stories, I would definitely recommend Vampire Academy. Like, if you're gonna commit to a series, Vampire Academy is definitely one to commit to. Sorry. I'm about to sneeze, 1 moment. Ugly, attractive sneeze face, and I just scared my cat out of the room. But Soundless from Richelle Mead is definitely I was about to say great because I was talking about Vampire Academy. Vampire Academy is great, but Soundless didn't really catch my eye. Not saying it wouldn't catch your guys' eye. If I'm trying to remember what lore this was, I think it was Chinese, Japanese lore. If you're into that then Soundless might be more up your alley. I gave it a shot. I didn't like it. Not very awesome with character development, nor making you care about her characters in this one. I didn't care about anyone. They could have all died at the end, and I wouldn't have cared. So, Soundless, not on my most top recommended, honestly. The next one I don't have here, but it's a short story in the Kisses from Hell book by multiple authors, and I think it's called Sunshine something. Look at me, terrible at names. And this one is a short story that follows Lissa's parents during a Strigoi attack. So that one was pretty interesting. I didn't really know much about Lissa's parents, and technically I didn't really need a story. The reason why this one is low on the totem pole, as I should say, is the fact that that I didn't really care for Lissa's family that much. They weren't really an important part of the Vampire Academy story. I know Lissa being orphaned was a definitely big thing about the Vampire Academy series, but I didn't really care about how her parents met during the Strigoi attack or whatever it was. I can't even remember half the story. All I know is about Lissa's parents meeting. And then the next book I have for you here is yet another short story. I try to categorize these books from my favorite Richelle Mead series to my least favorite. Well, from my least favorite to my favorite Richelle Mead series. So, as you can tell, the horrible reviews are going to get out of the way first. The next one I have for you is Foretold by Richelle Mead and multiple authors. This one includes the story Homecoming by Richelle Mead, and even though it were my babies, my Romitry, my world, as you may say, it's like I wasn't too partial to it. I enjoyed the fact that Dimitri got to go home and see his family of Rose. It was a perfect novel, and I totally loved this short mini story. I feel like I can't get enough of Romitry, to be honest, which is probably why I'm a little hesitant to get into the Vampire Academy 10th edition, because I was hoping to have a specific story, which I can't do because it's like huge spoilers for Vampire Academy. But I was hoping there would be a specific story in this. I'm pretty sure lovers of Vampire Academy read the Ruby Circle and knew what I was talking about, if not have a good educational guess of what story from the 10th edition I was missing. I was just, grr, why didn't the 10th edition have that story included? I really want to read that story. And hopefully, if Richelle Mead does like a 20th edition Vampire Academy novel, I could have that story because I really want it. These other Romitry stories, they're awesome. I can't wait to read this short story about Rose and Dimitri participating in the scavenger hunt, and then when Dimitri meets Rose for the first time in his perspective. I know a lot of people don't like that one in anyone else's perspective, but I would enjoy it. Next book I have for you here is a whole series, because I can't remember much about this series because I read it so long ago. I go after Vampire Academy. I said I needed more Richelle Mead books, and I didn't care if it was from the adult section. So whenever I was younger, I picked up the Succubus Blue series by Richelle Mead, and I ended up loving this series. My favorite one I'm holding up is Succubus Blues. I couldn't rank the other ones because I totally forgot the second ones. And one thing about Richelle Mead's series is they're either hit or miss endings. She's got a lot of hit endings, but there's a few misses, and something happens in the ending of these stories that I didn't really enjoy. But I love this one, and if anyone asks who my favorite character is, I can't tell you all my favorite characters on that one. I have to say my favorite character is, I think it's Rowan. I've seen so many R names in stories. I'm pretty sure it's Ronan, but let me check. Yep, it's Roman. So Roman is totally my favorite character, and judging based off that, I'm pretty sure everyone could figure out what I didn't like about the ending of the series, but, I'm still holding on strong. I need to hold on a little bit on this one. And I definitely need to reread this series because I'm already blanking on what happens during most of this series, except the ending. The ending I might skip because, oh my god, that ending. The next series I have for you here is the Stormborn series by Richelle Mead. My least favorite one has definitely gotta be Shadowhair. Hair by Richelle Mead, and mostly that was the last book for me, and the cliffhanger and the twist. I loved the twist, hated the flippin' ending. I'm sorry. I wish I had more spoiler discussions for these books because I really want to spoil this ending for you guys, But at the same time, if you haven't read this book, I don't want to spoil. I really want to discuss this ending. This is probably one of the worst endings to a Richelle Mead book I've seen. But since the series is so great, and I love Eugene more than anything, I put the series up higher even more than the Georgia series, since I love Georgia, but at the same time, I'm just over here like, as a main character, I love Eugene more, because this was a different story, because Succubus Blues isn't about vampires. Succubus Blues is about succubuses, and I love the concept of succubuses. I really wish there was more stories about succubuses out there because they're a pretty interesting mythological creature, and I definitely love this one. But this one is about I don't want to botch the name of what she is. She's a shaman. So if you like stories with involving shamans and fae people, this one's definitely one you should pick up. It's called the Dark Swan series by Richelle Mead. So the next one I have for you here for the Dark Swan series is Iron Crown by Richelle Mead. This is a book where I can't remember mostly anything about what happens, same with the last one. Like I said, I've read this in the Succubus Blue series so long ago that I've totally forgotten about them. I need to reread. I definitely need to reread all my Richelle Mead novels to gear up for the new Richelle Mead novels I'm gonna be reading. So comment down below and let me know if you guys want to see spoiler reviews for all these books, because I'm definitely down to read more Richelle Mead. I think I just need a whole month to concentrate on Richelle Mead because I love her so much. Starting at Vampire Academy, I'm definitely gonna reread Vampire Academy just to get to my 10th edition Vampire Academy. But definitely this one. This one's gotta be my second least favorite. In the third place, in second place, I have the book that started it all, which is Stormborn by Richelle Mead. This is the first book in Richelle Mead's Dark Swan series. This is where we meet Eugene and Dorian and her other love interest that I'm having a hard time. Q? I believe his name was Q. It's like, Q, there we go. I just don't know how to say his name without botching it, but Q, and we meet Dorian and Eugene. Usually when people read the name Dorian, they establish it with Throne of Glass series. Whenever I hear the name Dorian, I establish it with this. So if you guys haven't guessed, if I had to pick a favorite character from the Dark Swan series, it would definitely be Dorian. Favorite female character? Yeah, definitely gotta say it's Eugene. I love Eugene so much. She's such a fascinating main character, and I love her to death. And then last but not least, I have Thorn Queen by Richelle Mead. This is the second book in the Dark Swan series, and by far my favorite Dark Swan novel. I remember reading the second book, loving the second book, and then hating, almost completely forgetting the third book, and definitely hating the fourth book because of what happened to that ending. Everyone who's read these know the ending to these, and I bet you I'm not the only one who hates Eugene after this novel. But we'll see. We'll see. The next series I have for you here is, of course, my Bloodline series, because we all know what series is going to be number one on my Richelle Mead list of books. So, first book I have here from the Bloodline series is the third book in the series, which is the Indigo Spell by Richelle Mead. The Bloodline series follows Sydney Sage, Adrian Avashkov, I believe his name is. Don't botch me. Don't kill me. It's very hard to recommend Richelle Mead series based off experience alone. Because I can't spoil most of these novels because they're all part of series, because Richelle Mead writes a lot of series. But this one is the third book in the Bloodlines series, and this was my least favorite Bloodlines one. This book was just meh. It wasn't interesting, it wasn't special. They introduced a really annoying character in this one that I thought really didn't play a big part in the whole series as a whole, so I don't know why he was even inducted in there to begin with. But it just happens. Random characters pop into stories all the time, and no, my baby. Sorry, one of my Vampire Academy books fell. I know it's that one that fell is my least favorite book, but still. But Indigo Spell was the third book, and I wasn't very partial to the third book, and just love it. The second book I actually don't have a copy of, which actually frustrates me because I should have a copy of all this series. But that's The Golden Lily by Richelle Mead. This was the second book in the Bloodline series, and I wasn't very partial to it. Didn't really like it that much. So the third book I have, which is my, let's see, fourth place book? Yeah, my fourth place book here is the Bloodlines, the first book in the Bloodline series by Richelle Mead. I totally love Bloodlines as a whole, but this first book, while interesting, didn't really give me as many of the hard-hitting feels that Vampire Academy did. This one was just an okay story, and because I really wanted to see this world thrive, I read the rest of this series, but I ended up loving this series a little bit less than Vampire Academy, but still a great series, nevertheless. So the third place book I have in the Bloodline series is Silver Shadows by Richelle Mead. Silver Shadows was one of those books. It was great. I love it so much. It's just awesome. And these books have gorgeous covers. I know a lot of people think Richelle Mead's books have the cheesiest covers ever. I just love them so much. It must be because I grew up with covers like this, so I don't run the cheesiness. So my second favorite book in the series is The Fiery Heart by Richelle Mead. I believe this is the fourth book in the Bloodline series. I like what happens at the ending of the third book and what happened in the start of this book. This one is definitely one of the more interesting Bloodlines ones. And I definitely love it the most, and it had the best ending, besides the next one, which I totally love to death. And then, of course, it wouldn't, this definitely wouldn't be a complete Bloodlines thing without mentioning that my favorite ever Bloodlines novel was a conclusion of Bloodlines, which is The Ruby Circle. I loved everything about the Ruby Circle. I like the twist that happens in the Ruby Circle. There are so many twists. I like the whole, I think I have a spoiler discussion about this book. So if it's linked down below, you'll know my full thoughts on the twist that I love. I totally love the twist in this book. There is two really huge twists and a fantastic conclusion to the story that involves two of my favorite characters that I was really happy about. So definitely this one. I know it's probably the shortest book out of the bunch, but it really packed an emotional punch for me when I read it. But that's what I need to do. I need to, legitimately pick up the Vampire Academy series, read that all the way through, read Bloodlines all the way through, and then just pray for the best there. So the next thing I have for you guys is a little surprise. It is the Vampire Academy graphic novel series. They only have 3 graphic novels out now. But if I had to pick the order of my favorite to my least favorite, my number 3 would be Frostbite, the graphic novel. This is all based off art, not based off story, because I love all these stories, but the artwork in the third one wasn't the best. The second one I have for you here is, of course, is nostalgic Vampire Academy. I love this one to death. But my most favorite graphic novel for Vampire Academy is, of course, Shadow Kiss, because Shadow Kiss is just my OTP book, besides one last one I'm gonna mention. But yeah, definitely this one. Let me pick it up. So, last but not least, we have my favorite series by Richelle Mead. My ultimate favorite series where my OTP came from. Hashtag Romitri. Romitri, love them to death. Where Adrian came from, because Adrian wasn't a bad guy. I loved him, but I didn't prefer him with Rose. And, Sydney also comes straight from this book, and a lot of other adoring characters from the series that made their way to the Bloodline series, because a lot of them made their way to the Bloodline series. Even Lissa made her way to the Bloodline series. So I just need to enter this world, because I need more stories from it. I just need them. So, coming up in last place for the Richelle Mead novels, my least favorite out of the Vampire Academy series was Spiritbound by Richelle Mead. And yes, I will be showing you multiple covers of these books. I legitimately have 4 different covers for Vampire Academy. I'll show you them here in a minute. Some you've already seen. But I have for you here Spiritbound. Spiritbound is the 5th book in the Vampire Academy series. And I hated this book. I legitimately hated most of Spiritbound. I like some of Spiritbound. But if I had to pick my least favorite one, the book that I hated the most out of the Vampire Academy series, I definitely pick Spiritbound. I got a thumbs down for... I believe I got a thumbs down for not liking Spiritbound, but it's just my opinion. Because I think Spiritbound's the worst Vampire Academy novel. It packs a lot of action, and I do like a lot of the action, but at the same time, I didn't really like a situation that went down in this book, because I wish I could talk about the Vampire Academy series as a whole, but to people who know my OTP, you know the situation that I'm talking about, but Spiritbound. Yeah, Spiritbound's definitely my least favorite. I think it came in at number 6. So coming in at number 5 is, well, of course, I have Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. I know Vampire Academy definitely made me love Vampire Academy, but at the same time, this book isn't the best book. This book series continues to get stronger, but this one was a fantastic first novel, and I have a lot of favorite scenes in this first novel, but at the same time, it isn't as great as the rest of the series, and there are a lot of character flaws. Rose, at first, wasn't the greatest character. I still loved her to death. I loved her sarcastic wit and humor, and she's definitely my favorite character, one of my favorite characters of all time. But at the same time, she was a lot more immature in these books, which I feel put a lot of people off to this series. But you tons through these books, the first book, the series definitely is worth it. It definitely gets better. And I guess this is why I put so low on this list, because people read the first book, don't really like Rose in the first book, and if they don't like the main characters, they're not going to continue reading it. But I loved Rose. I thought she was sarcastic and witty, and I loved her Dimitri, and it was just amazing. Amazing. And a lot of people really do get put off by the student-mentor relationship thing, but I didn't really mind it, actually. But I definitely love this one. This one, 100% love these books. They're my favorites. But here's two of the covers. The next one was the graphic novel cover. Does anyone realize how obsessed I am with these books yet? I buy all the covers for these ones. And of course, I actually showed everyone. Actually, if I had to pick my favorite cover from Vampire Academy, it'd definitely be the 10th edition. The 10th edition is definitely the most gorgeous cover for Vampire Academy, and I'm so in love with it. So coming in at number 4 on the Vampire Academy list, I only have one copy of this, and that's Frostbite by Richelle Mead. I lost one of my personal favorites from Vampire Academy in this book. So that's why this book was so low for me. But it did save this book by introducing the character of Adrian. Adrian was my comic relief in this book because this book would have been really dark without it. And another reason why this is one of my least favorite books in Vampire Academy novels is the fact that there is very little to no Dimitri in this book, and Dimitri is my definite man crush Monday when it comes to these books. He's my ultimate favorite boy crush in this one, and oh my god, I just love Dimitri so much, as much as I love Dimitri. But if I had to choose between who my favorite character was, Dimitri or Rose, I would definitely go with Dimitri. I love Dimitri so much more than I love Rose. Like, can I just get these novels again, but in Dimitri's point of view? I would love to know what happened to Dimitri during the fourth book. But definitely Frostbite. Let me see where I'm at because I lost track of my... Okay. So coming in at number 3, I have here Blood Promise by Richelle Mead. Blood Promise was a straight up one day for me. I read Blood Promise in a day. Like, legitimately. After what happened in Shadow Kiss, I needed this book. I needed not to put it down. I legitimately went to school on an hour of sleep because of this book. When it came out, I needed to know what happened with Dimitri and Rose. I needed to read the rest of it. I needed it. Like, come by. Like, after 2 hours of having this book, I was already halfway through it. So I finished it in a night, and I loved this book. I know for a lot of people, this is their least favorite in the Vampire Academy universe, but I loved this one. I love how there was more travel involved in this one. I loved the introduction of new characters in this one. But most importantly, I loved the storyline because it was so much darker and so much better. And I have, like, look at this. Look at the tags in these novels. If the only reading, minus this reading experience is the fact that I got this book tea spilled on this book because I wasn't paying attention. That's my only quirk about this book. I love this book. I just love Vampire Academy. Like, almost every book is great. Great. Sure, I have my least favorites, but at the same time, can't complain. So, my second favorite book in the Vampire Academy series, which came really close to getting first. Like, I really struggled with who coming in number 1, but I gotta say my second favorite in my series is Shadow Kiss by Richelle Mead. Now, Shadow Kiss was everything to me. It was everything I could possibly want, everything I could possibly imagine. Imagine this is the third book in the Vampire Academy series. This ending was the most amazing ending to a book that I had read in a long time at that point, and I just loved the living crap out of it. I loved the situation at the end of the book. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It literally made me toss this book over to the other side of my room in frustration. I legitimately have read this specific book 5 different times because I loved it so much. I keep rereading my Romitri scenes. If people wonder why I have tabs in my Vampire Academy novels, it's to mark my favorite scenes. And I legitimately, loved this one. Loved. I can't say enough things about it to tell you guys how much I love this series. Rose and Dimitri are everything. Adrian's everything. Lissa, I'm not really partial to. I think she's the only thing in the Vampire Academy series I didn't like. But she grew on me eventually. But I love this book. This book is my baby, and it's amazing. Amazing. But even that amazingness would definitely not compare to my number one favorite read from Richelle Mead I've ever read. And that was her conclusion to her Vampire Academy series, which is Last Sacrifice. I loved everything in this book. The situation was amazing. The characters were amazing. Romitri was amazing. I just loved them to death. I think what made this one of my more favorite Vampire Academy novels, if not my most favorite, because, like I said, it was like a hair away from Shadow Kiss, because Shadow Kiss was amazing. Amazing. But one thing that really pushed this one up was how much Spiritbound had disappointed me. I was like, okay, Spiritbound was a disappointment, but we could bounce back to Last Sacrifice. And they did that and more. I was so impressed with the way the story ended. I know a lot of people hated the cliffhangers in this one, but the cliffhangers were there to set up in Bloodlines, and Bloodlines had quite a few cliffhangers in it also, which frustrates me because she's not thinking about continuing any books in this universe, which I need. I need more books in this universe, but definitely more of Rose and Dimitri, please. I like Ultimate OTP over here. And I'm freaking out. But if you guys have not read the Vampire Academy series, I would definitely recommend 100%. 10 out of 10 stars. I love it so much. Which is why I want to do a reread, because I might be biased to these books because I have such nostalgia from Richelle Mead. So we'll see when I do my reread if I still love these books as much as I did when I was a kid. It's just so nostalgic, and I love it. And there you guys have it. That was my list ranked for my Richelle Mead novels. What is your favorite Richelle Mead novel? Comment down below and let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!